Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Western Alliance Era 2 Tech Tree medium tank, the M60A2 Starship. Now if you do like the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below as it really does help out the channel. And yeah, the Starship. I love this tank. It is honestly my favourite Cold War tank. By a country mile. It is my favourite. Just by a billion miles. I love it. It's great. It's great fun. And this is the one that obviously I compared the K-Tank to. And the K-Tank is very similar. It just gets a usable AP round over having the HE rounds that this tank gets. And honestly, this is the Tech Tree equivalent of it. And it is so much fun to play. I love it because the HE rounds are great. The ATGMs are fantastic. The heat rounds, well, I carry five rounds of heat in this replay and the next replay. I never used them. So I do actually have another video coming up at some point in the future, probably, for this tank. And that was actually when I 3-marked this tank, for which the 3-mark game is actually on Rekatikitave's channel. And by the time I get to that point, I actually don't carry any heat rounds whatsoever, because I just don't use them ever. And I used all my HE rounds, and a lot of the time, there was quite a few times where I was running out of HE rounds when we were having that kind of game, right? And the HE rounds are great. You don't want to underestimate how good the HE rounds are, because with this tank, you've got 380mm of penetration on the heat rounds, you've got 170 penetration on the HE rounds, and 450 penetration on the ATGMs, which is pretty damn nice. The ATGMs are fantastic on this tank. They travel so quickly, just like on the K-Tank. But the HE rounds with 170 pen are fantastic because they have 1,100 damage, which is the same as the ATGMs. But with that 170 pen, you can pen shots like that on a mauler. You can pen. There are so many tanks that you can pen with 170 penetration that it's crazy, because you can pen all the Leopards, all the 30Bs. You can pen pretty much all the light tanks as long as you're not hitting the spaced armor. There's quite a few heavy tanks you can pen in the side and the rear if you avoid the spaced armors, stuff like that. You can actually pen 4211 cupolas if you get lucky enough as well. But then also, the other thing with the HE rounds, which is why I use them over the heat rounds most of the time, is that when you're hitting tanks and you're not penning them, you're still doing about 400 to 600 damage on splash. You're still splashing for a lot of damage. So the HE rounds are just universally far more useful to me than the heat rounds. So it's like, if I don't pen, which the heat rounds can, they can just get absorbed and then you're stuck in a bit of bother. Then the HE rounds just go, oh, I've just done 500 damage to it anyway. And you sit there laughing, and you don't have to worry about the fact that you didn't have to pen it. So the HE rounds are great, and like I say, the ATGMs are also pretty damn solid on this tank, because they travel very quickly, just like they are on the old Sheridan as well. This tank does have a 2.3 second aim time, which is really not too bad for this kind of gun. You've got 9 degrees of gun depression, which really helps you on a ridgeline. It's really quite flexible for that. You've got 0.37 base accuracy as well, which again, for this kind of derp howitzer, and then you've got ATGMs that don't care about the accuracy. It's pretty damn good. One of the things that's pretty poor about this tank, well, not poor, but not the greatest, is that it has a 54.7 km/h top speed, which you do hit easily with the 17.46 horsepower per ton ratio, but it's definitely something that you want to buff up with the equipment if you can, and that's what I do. I just forego the ability to try and make the gun better, because the gun already feels good enough without stuff like gun stabilizer, as you're seeing in this replay. And as I say that, as I missed a shot on the Conqueror, obviously, but yeah, I just use it as a mobile gun platform for the ATGMs, but then also launch these beautiful HE rounds too. So what do I run in terms of a crew on the M60A2, the Starship? Well, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Trap Mechanic, Armour Angling, Steady Aim, Clutch Braking, Rapid Aim, and Run and Gun. Run and Gun and Steady Aim to make the gun as good as possible, so that I don't have to worry about anything else. Armour Angling just to reduce the amount of damage coming into the tank in case we get penned by ATGMs and stuff like that. You know, makes a big difference. Instead of getting penned for like 1,100, you'll get penned for like 1,000 or 950 odd, something. It just reduces the amount of damage coming in. Rapid Aim, because the turret traverse, I want to get this gun snapped in as quickly as possible. And then in terms of Clutch Braking, because I just want to make this tank feel extremely maneuverable, and that's why we take Clutch Braking to make the track traverse better. And then in terms of equipment, I run the Advanced Loader, the Powertrain, and the Traction System. I run the Powertrain and the Traction System for the number one for the engine boost from the powertrain, but also the top speed boost you can get out of it. Also the traction system to get me up to 63 km/h top speed that I have on this build. So you do hit the 63 km/h top speed, and it just helps you be that far more manoeuvrable tank that you really kind of want to be in Era 2. And it helps you be that mobile gun platform for this fantastic 152mm gun that is on the Starship. And then the advanced loader, naturally, because you want to make your DPM 10% better, as always. So this first game, we're here on Severogorsk. We're up to 8,200 damage with 4 kills, and we're hunting the last 2 tanks alive. We've found the heavy tank. It's a TR-125. We snapped the shot into his side there, which sets him on fire as well. And then we go for the ATGMs. Now, I could have loaded HE again, but I decided, no, I want the ATGM for this guy because he's got enough hit points to take out with the ATGM. The HE isn't guaranteed to pen him, so we launched the ATGM into his track, and oh boy, we set him on fire again. That poor guy, and he gets shut down for our 5th kill of this game. We've loaded HE for the Sheridan. The Sheridan sadly smashes an ATGM into us, but it doesn't kill us, fortunately enough. We're loading the next shell of HE. Doesn't go through the Sheridan, but we do end up putting him down to a one-shot. Now on to 5 kills with 11.5k damage, and I'm like, you know what, okay, we're just going after this Sheridan. We're watching to see if he pokes out that way. He doesn't, so we're going after it. We want that top gun. There's still 4 people left. We aim it up, get lucky he misses that ATGM, and we shut him down with the HE round, and we finish the game with that really great total for the Starship. We finished with the victory, 6 kills, 11,771 damage, the Ace Tanker, Top Gun, the High Caliber, the Fire and Forget medal, with 1,863 base XP. A really nice game there for the M60A2 Starship. Honestly, it just really is such a fantastic tank. And yeah, I just want to make the top speed on this tank really, really good, because especially when I first started playing this tank, I made it so that obviously I was just a mobile gun platform for these ATGMs, because I basically just launched the ATGMs and that was all I fired, and then I switched to the HE rounds. But then I discovered the beauty of these HE rounds. These HE rounds are so dirty, because you can pen things for the same amount that you can pen the ATGMs for, and then if you don't penetrate them, you're still doing, like, say, 500 splash damage, something like that, because you've got 1,100 damage on the top shell. It means your splash damage is very, very high. So, yeah, when you fail to pen things, you're still doing a good amount of damage, and then you're still having the howitzer just damage modules. Like you saw with the TR-125, we didn't pen him. We hit him for 462 in the side, but we lit him on fire with the HE round, which then obviously takes away a lot of his hit points, damages everything in his tank. So the HE rounds are something that are very, very, very useful on this tank. But you don't need a gun stabilizer on it, naturally, because, well, the ATGMs don't need stabilization whatsoever, because they have nothing to do with accuracy stats and stuff like that. Accuracy stats don't affect ATGMs, and the accuracy during rotation is 1.18, and the accuracy during movement is 2.47 with this build that I have, which is not that great, but for a howitzer like this is actually pretty good. You got 0.35 accuracy as well with this setup that I have, which is only a little bit better than it originally was, with the 2.21 second aim time. But the gun handling genuinely on this tank just does not feel bad at all, and especially for saying that we're not running something like the gun stabilizer. It's quite surprising, really. And then having the speed equipment, both sets of speed equipment on this tank with clutch braking, makes it feel just extremely maneuverable, which is a beautiful thing. And with the ATGMs as well, they've got 320 meters a second shell velocity, which is the fastest. I think that's the fastest you can get ATGMs in Cold War, and they just seem to travel so quick, which is fantastic for the Starship. Same as it is on the Sheridan and on the MBT-70 as well, because they all have that same gun. But oh boy, that's a way to start this game here on Fred Vang. 1,547 with that ATGM into the Leopard there, pops his head, and the next ATGM is ready to go. We're going now after the T-55 Enigma. It's like, hello, Mr. Enigma, let me put this ATGM in. And we shut him down and pop his head off as well. 2 Amaraks in a row. Oh boy, 3.1k damage in 2 shots. That's a beautiful thing. Launch another ATGM into the back of the turret of the Conqueror. Oh no, we could have got 3 Amaraks in a row there. That would have been beautiful, because the Amaraks are in the back end of the turret of a Conqueror, but it is what it is. We say hello, Mr. BMP2. He was so focused on our Sheridan, he didn't realise I was coming in like a wrecking ball. And 862 on a ram. Thank you, Mr. BMP. Beautiful scenes. We've loaded HE just because we only have to splash the Conqueror to kill it, which we do. And we've taken our first shot of damage with that as well. But we get rid of that Conqueror. And we fired, like, what, 4 shells and we've got... Well, fired 5 shells and got 4 kills. No, we've actually fired 4 shells and got 4 kills, haven't we? Because we rammed the other guy. So we've loaded an ATGM up for this T-72, which goes straight in for our 5th kill of this game. 7.3k damage. This is one of those games, it's going beautifully. And it's terrifically memey. So, we're at 7.3k damage, and I want to keep going. We've got the next ATGM loaded. I'm thinking M60A1 or the light tank, because that's what we want. The Scorpion 90, it's like, well, hello, Mr. Scorpion 90. Don't mind if I do, buddy. Slap that shell straight in. Seb shuts down the Scorpion 90 with the Leopard 1A1 there. And good night, Mr. Light Tank. We get shot in the rear by the... that wasn't the BMP2, it was I think the Centurion that's in the corner. But this BMP2 is attacking Seb, so we're like, okay, nope, Mr. BMP2, good night, my son, as we launch the ATGM straight into that guy, securing our top gun for 9,600 damage. Again, waiting on the reload, probably would have been better with HE here, because we'd be able to get this M60A1 with the HE. But you know what? Maybe we can't. No, we can't. No. I lied. We were about to get him, but it is what it is. We launched the ATGM towards the Centurion 9. It flies in for 1,100, and we load the HE, because we don't... Well, with the 170 pen, we can go straight through the front of a Centurion 9. We can go through the lower plate or the upper plate with 170 pen, or his rear, one of the two. And even then, at 461 HP, we could probably just splash him to death, to be honest. So we drive around the corner, launch the HE rounds, and of course, we don't splash him to death, do we? We only leave him on 46 hit points, but we give him the slightest of rams in the universe, and it shuts him down. But he damages our ammo rack with his final death knell. Sad times. But we have the HE round in. Can we get the RDF for the 8th kill? Yes, good night, Mr. RDF LT. And we finished the game with a great total for the M60A2 Starship. Finished with the victory. 8 kills, 11,500 damage, 1,864 base XP. Finished with the Fire and Forget medal, the Ace Tanker, the Frost Heroes medal, the ATGM Expert, the Sniper, the Top Gun, and the High Caliber. Really great game for the Starship, and it's just... That was everything I love about the Starship, all in one game. Those ammo racks, the getting about, using this gun with the mobile gun platform. Oh, it's just such a good tank to play. It is so much fun. I love this tank to the ends of the earth. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success.